Welcome back, everyone, to the Breakroom. Hey! Yes, this is our daily show that keeps you updated on just what's going on in nerd news from our very own Breakroom here in our secret headquarters on the moon. Coming up today, we're going to be talking about Big Daddy Michael Waldron giving us some sweet, sweet updates. Anakin's dead? To who? To whom?
Oh, to whom?
Morbius just got weirder.
No possible freaking
got
way.
a little bit weirder, guys. And everyone's asking, where's Waldo? No. We're asking, where's Namor?
Remember who asked that yesterday?
He's probably underwater. He's probably underwater. And much like several times a week on this show, one of us is getting canceled, baby.
Yes, terminally canceled.
That's right. I'm Brandon Barrick, and I'm here with a lot of my friends today. We got Jessica Clemons here.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we also got Tommy Bechtold.
Oh, yeah. I'm all fueled up. Electrolytes coursing through my body. No cramps here, guys. I put a damper on the cramper.
Yeah. How's your Gucci feeling today?
I'm feeling Gucci to Moochie.
Let me see that
That's
Gucci.
good to hear. That's good to hear. We also have Zach Huddleston.
Yes, I'm drinking out of a mug that definitely belongs to me. And
That's not
editor.
Yes. This is Zach Huddleston's mug.
Zach
Always
is
has
already
been.
getting canceled. You cannot keep stealing people's
If
mugs.
you work at New Rockstars, you know. Hey, we got super chats coming in already today. Kodak 2309 said it best. Easy.
That's right.
Easy,
That's how
folks.
we keep it. That's how we keep
and
it.
all those super chats, they go into our swear jar. Now, what's our swear jar? We're not allowed to curse on this show. We've got filthy mouths that just want to roar away, but we got to keep it clean for the FCC because they won't let us be. They won't let me be me. But if you do some super chats and all those super chats accumulate up to $100, one of us gets to swear. We get to buy a swear back from big government.
Like Goonies. We're all down
Yeah.
at the bottom of the well, and you guys are throwing super chats in, and we take one back.
Yeah.
Because it's our wish. It
Yeah.
didn't come true.
That's right, a 40-year-old movie reference for all you people out
These
there.
people have watched Goonies. They like new rock stars.
It's our time
They
down
were weaned
here.
on Goonies.
I know that.
She knows Goonies, and she's 13.
This 13-year-old knows Goonies.
Speaking of 13-year-olds, we got to do some headlines.
Oh,
Hey,
baby.
speaking of 13-year-olds.
There it is. I don't know why 13-year-olds would speak of headlines, but this 39-year-old certainly will. Every show we're going to start with some headlines. The big news of the day, the nerdy news that you all should be keeping up with. The writer of this moment, okay, the Loki and Multiverse of Madness writer, Michael Waldron, teased some new story details for the upcoming Kevin Feige Star Wars movie that he is also writing.
Wow.
This guy's taking
Busy
all
man.
the good writing gigs right now. He had this great quote. It's not necessarily a sequel or anything. It maybe has a little bit less of a, it just doesn't have a bunch of TV shows and movies that you're servicing on top of it, the way I did with Doctor Strange. So it's nice. It feels like a different exercise.
Boo! Bring me back my Jedi!
Well, that is exciting to hear, right? Because, I mean, Star Wars has as much fluff as, like, the Marvel Universe, and it feels like if you write anything in Star Wars, it has to have a stormtrooper.
Well,
it's got to have a TIE fighter.
And it could still have all those things, but we have not seen a fully divested of the Skywalker saga Star Wars property, right?
yeah.
We have yet to see that, but maybe this will be the first one.
I gotta be honest. You gotta service me a little bit. You know, I don't mean that in a dirty way.
I need a fluffer.
But I mean, if it's just like a different movie with things that have nothing to do with the previous Star Wars movies and TV, then it's not really Star Wars.
I
is
agree
it?
with Tommy.
I don't mean to be a whiny little baby boy. I'm not going to write a petition. I'm not going to start a hashtag. The only hashtag I started is hashtag Gucci to Moochie. That's where you share some positive news about your life, what's going on that's Gucci to Yuchi. Okay?
Gucci to Yuchi.
You share what's Gucci to Yuchi, and we make it Gucci to Moochie.
Gucci, right?
Hit that 3 for me, John. Gucci to Moochie.
Hit that 3 for me, John.
Speaking of Gucci, I don't know why I keep doing these terrible transitions. Obi-Wan director Deborah Chow did an interview with Entertainment Weekly where she said that not only is Obi-Wan set in a dark time to be a Jedi, you know, because most of them are dead or in hiding during the time span of Obi-Wan, but that Obi-Wan in this series thinks Anakin is dead.
Oh, so... Sorry.
So I was just gonna say, could be in for a rude awakening. then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna get a second Darth Vader like harrowing moment where he's like, "I was once your student," and he's like, "Anakin?"
Me and Brandon were talking. I was shook, and I came to Brandon and I came to Zach earlier about this. But we did talk about the fact that he does know that Anakin is Vader.
Well,
but he doesn't know because Darth Sidious told him he saw it in the.
He heard the name Darth Vader. So as you know, that day's going off, right?
Yeah.
Order 66 is happening. Yoda shows Obi-Wan like a hologram of Anakin kneeling before Darth Sidious. And in the hologram, he's like, "Rise, Lord Vader."
Yes.
And then Yoda, they talk a little bit, Obi-Wan and Yoda's like, he's fully become Darth Vader, or he's fully lost to Darth Vader.
Yes. Yeah.
So Obi-Wan has heard the name Darth Vader.
Okay, so it won't be totally. He won't
But then
be.
he goes
he
off, they
thinks
have a
he's-
fight,
yeah.
and they fight, and he
And
leaves
for
Anakin
10 years,
for
he
dead.
thinks he's dead, though.
Yeah.
And he's been in hiding. So the rude awakening is just going to be, he's going to know Vader exists.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
once he recognizes that's Anakin, that's where the real pop off
He might
is.
just think like, oh, I guess they kept the name Darth Vader. They don't got a lot of names.
But
listed.
then that makes me so mad that there's so much confusion and continuity
Right.
with just like, we don't remember everybody's name.
That was also a busy
don't
day
remember
for him.
everything.
He might have
Yeah,
forgot
that's
that he
true.
heard
Very
that name.
busy
that
day.
day.
I barely remember what we did on the break room yesterday, so I'll cut our dude Obi-Wan some slack. This is, Brandon hinted at this in the intro. Okay, this is an unconfirmed
wild.
rumor.
Yes.
But it is a rumor producer John first heard. We were unable to confirm or deny it. Supposedly, if you go see the film Morbius in theaters now, it's been out, I believe, since the beginning of April.
Yeah.
The mid-credit scene has been changed. Okay? They have removed any mention of Spider-Man. This is the mid-credit scene, not to spoil it, but to spoil it, is when Morbius drives in a sports car to the middle of the desert, Vulture flies in, they chat, they're like, hey, we should team up, we could do some good. Apparently, they've removed any mention of Spider-Man.
Vulture says that something like, I think our pal Spider-Man has something to do with
Yeah,
this.
so now it just cuts to immediately like, we should team up.
Now, we don't know. We haven't seen it. If you're out there and
in
you
the
really
chat.
want to go see
Yes.
Morbius again in theaters,
Yes.
Help us.
Maybe
Yeah.
you work at an AMC
Yeah.
or a Regal or
Yeah.
A
whatever.
Cinemark.
Peek your head into that lonely Morbius screening.
Yeah.
We know it can't be too crowded in there. Or just swing by. Maybe as you're leaving the Multiverse of Madness screening, pop your head in for that mid-credit scene and keep us up to date.
Save us from having to find out ourselves. I want to say I see a chat up there from Zell K. Says the break room is better than porn, I just realized. And my response to Zell K is find a way to private message me and I will fix that for you. You are not watching the right kind of porn.
Maybe.
also, I just realized, what were they watching right before the show?
I just realized.
Well, not to spoil something we talked about later, after rewatching Multiverse of Madness last night, after the opening scene with Defender Strange in America, turns out it was a dream. We see our 616 Strange wakes up in bed, right? There's an open laptop next to him in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, maybe
He's
he was
watching Netflix like the rest of us in college.
Yeah, like that's what
all we do.
like I did in college.
Where everybody knows you
Netflix.
watch porn on your phone.
Okay, that's a
watch
good point.
Netflix.
Yeah, laptops are too much work to watch porn on. Anyways, boy, we've gotten off track.
John is upset with us.
Jeremy Slater, who the writer for the Moon Knight series, mentioned in an interview that they cut a line of dialogue where Stephen mentioned Rama Tut. Rama Tut being another name for Kang the Conqueror, right? And there was that great Easter egg on the back of the thug's jacket. There was this depiction of Rama Tut. Apparently in the cut line of dialogue, like Stephen was babbling off the top of his head and he was kind of naming different gods. And he mentioned the name Rama Tut. It's interesting. Now, sometimes they cut stuff just for time or because it doesn't quite work, but maybe that was intentional. They didn't want to tease people too much with a Kang appearance.
There's too much news we're hearing now about like the things that were cut in Moon
I know.
Knight.
I wonder if they
There's so
just
much
make like a
stuff.
whiteboard of like, here's all the things we can leak out that we were considering doing, or just say that we were considering doing that'll make the fans go like, oh, that's crazy. Like, at one point we did think about having Peter Venkman come in, but we thought that might be too crazy for the viewers.
This happens a lot to watch these series.
I was about to say it probably is such an eye-opener to everybody and such a shock of like, when you're coming out after and before so many other properties in the MCU, you have so much stuff that you're like, we have to just throw this at a wall and then the producers will come in and tell us not to do it.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
we have 4 versions of our script.
And we actually we're going to talk about a similar situation in a little bit. But first, we've got a new image from Thor, Love and Thunder.
Love and thunder.
Look at that.
Let me see.
Whoa.
So it looks like there's some chaos in the background. That could be New Asgard.
Is everything's on fire?
Burnt up, maybe?
That
like-
is probably New Asgard.
Yeah, well, we see at the end of that teaser when there's the fight going on.
right.
And everything's going crazy in the town.
Who do you think is attacking New Asgard in that shot?
Gore's not going to set fire to a bunch of innocent people.
I
He's
think
had that in his life.
It's the Care Bears. They've come. They've stared.
I think
Get outta
it's Cyclops.
That's how they introduced mutants in
Yeah.
the MCU? Interesting.
This Cyclops has got a chip on his shoulder.
Speaking of,
I gotta burn down New Asgard. Sorry, guys.
I just also want to shout out right now, we got a super chat that said, Zach looking like Zaddy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's upset? Oh, he's upset.
no,
He's
this
upset,
is your
Dad.
disapproving daddy who
Yeah.
thinks you should do your homework and go back to bed.
There's a new daddy in town.
Wow,
A
this has
different daddy.
now I know why this is better than porn. This makes sense now.
right.
Yeah, well, if you're into a very specific kind of look, sure. Speaking of Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi, the director of that and the previous Thor film, is being super secretive about Russell Crowe's role. We know he's playing Zeus, but we don't know like Zeus's role in the film. And he teased that Crowe acts in a way that we've never seen Russell before.
Just nice.
Subtle.
Yeah, I was like, nice,
No, I'm just
subtle.
kidding. He's a fabulous actor. I just wonder, I am so excited and now growing slightly concerned about Thor: Love and Thunder because there are so many amazing, huge personality actors that are in this specific film. And I'm like, God, I hope it's, like kind of in the way that like Suicide Squad was like, a lot of these people you love, but they're only going to be in for under 2 minutes. I'm
Well, that was also the tagline, so you saw that before.
Right.
But my problem with Russell Crowe is like, as long as he's not singing, it's gonna be fine. Because in Les Mis, he was horrible.
I dreamed a dream.
God, he
one day more.
said he was supposed to hit a note, and he went, "Oh," and I went, "Okay,
Pierce
take him out."
Brosnan in.
Take him out.
Hey, he's in a band.
Mia?
He can clearly sing.
30-odd feet of grunts.
can
Put
be
some
in a band
respect
and
on
not
his
sing.
name.
Come on,
okay?
we're huge grunt. I almost said a bit. We're huge grunt. See,
What
we're
did you almost say?
Huge grunters.
we're grunt heads. We're grunters.
Oh
well, that's
my
just what they
God.
call the fans of the show.
You guys-
My mom's watching. Sorry, Mags.
Keep track of the cancelable takes.
Okay.
Keep track of the cancelable
Yes,
takes.
we're getting canceled here. Brandon, and maybe a couple other folks yesterday, as we were casting our
Yell
own
at me.
Illuminati, Namor's name got mentioned
I
a
asked
couple
that.
times. Yes.
Brandon
I'm
get
not
off?
getting yelled at.
Just because Brandon's a more responsible,
don't-
reasonable person.
I don't know. I was just calling out a name.
Doesn't react.
In an interview, Michael Waldron again confirmed that they had talked about Namor being in the Illuminati and Multiverse of Madness, but they couldn't use him because the MCU had other plans for him, so he didn't make his way into this particular movie.
What
Which-
other plans?
Well, I mean, the
What are
strong
the other
rumor for
plans?
quite a while has been that he's going to appear in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I guess did they just not want that to be his introduction? Would that? Well, I guess yeah, because that would seem. Then when you see him in Black Panther, you're like, well, I just saw this guy.
Yeah. Or even though I will say, yes, and that would be cool. Let's wait and see him. Though if we get Namor in the first Black Panther: Wakanda Forever trailer, well, then they might as well give him in the
Maybe.
Multiverse of Madness, right? Okay. Hey, are you one of these weirdos that thought there wasn't enough carnage and death in Multiverse of Madness? Tommy Bechtold, T. Michael Bechtold, I'm looking right at you. Well, Elizabeth Olsen confirmed that
God, he's
actually
changing.
she was supposed to kill way more people. There are cut scenes of cool like one-on-one fights, particularly in the Camertage battle scene. There was, I mean, it would be hard to kill any more people in the 828 Illuminati scene because literally everybody gets killed. But apparently there's going to be a lot more graphic violence in the
She could have
Camertage
killed
scene.
like more of the what did he call them? Lab coats. Could have killed more of the scientists in the building.
The plan was always for Lizzie to kill more.
Don't call her
Fortunately,
Lizzie. I don't
they-
like it.
They came and stopped me. They said, T. Michael, she can't kill everyone. And I said, can't she? She's the Scarlet Witch. She's either meant to rule the world or destroy it.
Look at that.
Smolder.
Look at that.
T.
Look at
Michael
that hair.
Bechtold.
It's bordering on T. Michael. It's bordering on Sideshow Bob level there.
God,
Okay. In another interview, we're getting tons of great interviews right now with all the Multiverse of Madness cast. We're getting lots of juicy quotes. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange himself, mentioned that he passed on playing Malekith in Thor: The Dark World. That was the villain played by
that?
Christopher Eccleston.
Right.
In what is often maligned as one of the worst MCU movies, though I know you particularly are a low-key fan of that movie.
There's a lot of good stuff in Thor: The Dark World that becomes very important, and like they actually laid some cool groundwork in that movie. But yeah, it's got its problems, it's got its mess, and yeah, Malekith is kind of maligned for being underutilized. He's a very powerful force in the comics. They kind of don't do him the justice in this, and like the makeup that
wears
Eccleston was
so
in,
much.
you can't even tell it's him.
Yes.
I'm just happy that he passed on it because he's such a good Doctor Strange that I'm like, if you would have taken that role, who would have become Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Maybe Tom Cruise.
Well, and it is this fun thing of like, the MCU is probably only going to give you one shot.
Right.
And so
That
if you
is
do
true.
bite
That is
on a
true.
character that's like not going to be a big deal or might get killed off after one film like Malekith did, maybe you miss out on,
True,
how many
100%.
appearances has Benedict done now?
I watched his interview with this and it was really cute and fun because he was talking about how he like read the Spark Notes to Doctor Strange and was like, this guy's kind of misogynistic and kind of problematic. I don't think this is right for me. And they were like, no. We're creating a Doctor Strange for today. It's gonna be better. It's for the people of today. It's not for the people
He's like,
of like
no,
the
I didn't
60s.
say I wanted to change it. I just said talk me into
Talk
it.
me into
It
it.
is tough to base your decision on like the 1963 comic
Yeah,
version
exactly.
of a character.
So once he was like, as long as that is played up, that we are playing it for today, I'm down for it. And also he was like, I really like playing arrogant. He was like, it's very fun.
you
I was
go.
like, there you go.
He's got that.
What happened?
Quiet, please. Just kidding. Kidding.
Oh my, no laughter in this room. I also want to just really quick go to the questions that people have been saying, or what people have been saying. Lewis Smith said, are the people who insisted that was Tom Cruise was in the trailer doing okay?
They're like, where was he?
Yeah.
God, I bet everything on that.
It was mainly Michael Waldron. Michael Waldron's a #1 Tom Cruise stan. Also, I'm excited for Maverick. I'll say it.
Yeah, Top Gun, yeah.
Our friends at IMAX who treated us to a
Yes.
wonderful screening. We're hoping. Zach and I were laying it on pretty thick at the end of last night
bring
about
us back.
how much we love that.
Let's just, we're about to move on to our break room breakdown, but we want to do a quick plug. So the fine folks at IMAX had us to their headquarters last night. If you follow New Rockstars on social media, you might have seen a pic from this, where Jessica, Tommy, myself, a bunch of other staff and friends of New Rockstars, we got to go rewatch, because we'd already seen it, but we got to go see Multiverse of Madness. Ooh, there's that nice
yeah.
pic.
Can you find me?
It's a little bit
that's
of a
the
Where's
new
Waldo
photo.
there. Jessica's kind of hiding. But we got to go see it at IMAX headquarters here in Los Angeles on this big, beautiful screen. It was just us alone in this big, cool theater. And we actually, later in this episode, we're going to talk about like things we noticed upon second viewing. Brandon wasn't there because he's legally not allowed in that part of the
He's
city.
banned from the campus.
Once the sun goes down, I have to be home.
Let's just say he took the word max and he took it a little too far.
Wow!
Oh, that was almost R2-D2.
No, my normal screaming
No,
is my
I think
R2-D2
that
voice, and it's
reminds
a
me.
problem.
Can you do an impression of R2-D2 chasing Brandon out of the parking lot?
Brandon?
Yeah.
5 days in a row.
That's
when will it stop?
Zro Cool did ask Jess to do the R2
Oh, see, I'm looking out for
They
that.
want it for their text alert.
I'll do it again later. We'll be more prepared.
We'll
or
do
I'll
it
just make a
clean.
TikTok
We'll
of
do
it
it
and send it to
clean.
you.
Yeah, a clean sound file.
Let's move on to the break room breakdown.
Yeah.
Camera number 2.
There it is. Look at that graphic.
You guys, Voss mentions in the latest episode of Inside Marvel that he did today, came out today,
came out
right?
today.
With Whitney, my top, I can't say the B word, and MT, a small tidbit about Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, wildly guessing, like fabricating a story that it's true about the multiverse. It's really weird. Let's just take a look really quick. It's
There have been various Easter
Sorry,
eggs that
Kevin.
we talked about hinting that the film universe could have been connected to 616. So like in Avengers Endgame, Scott Lang's storage locker had 616 written on the sign. In Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio, Quentin Beck claimed to be from Earth Dimension 833, whereas this universe was Earth Dimension 616. And we've talked about how weird that now is, considering Quentin Beck wasn't from an alternate universe. He was just fabricating all of this. So he just happened to pull the right number out,
Yeah,
which is
how
hilarious.
did that work?
Well, Guterman was obviously a watcher or a TVA agent or something. That's the only way it makes sense.
Mr. Beck is from Earth, just not yours.
There are multiple realities, Peter. This is Earth, Dimension 616. I'm from Earth 833.
I'm sorry, you're saying there's a multiverse?
So that I'm obsessed with this. I am obsessed with this completely because it's just like, how was he able to just fabricate these numbers that are absolutely correct? And I don't think he was fabricating. I think this has something, I think Stark Industries was testing and working on finding the multiverse, and that's why everybody in that he did fire that's later in No Way Home knows about the multiverse existing.
That would kind of lean towards more like Viz had his theories, that line?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Viz had his theories.
Here's what I'll say. I think there's a concrete answer here, and obviously I know it. Okay. There's a reasoning why the multiverses get numbered.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like the first one we find gets number one. Because Christine Palmer in 828.
3-8.
838. I keep saying 28.
818.
Wait, how great would that movie have been if we went to 828? Anyway, 838, Christine Palmer with the brighter red hair, right? She says that she has been studying multiverses and she numbered these, right?
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't she number her own multiverse number 1 or 001 or something like that? So I think the numbering system comes from something about the multiverses.
Like
maybe
a Dewey Decimal?
Yes, or when you look at the multiverse under a
Wait.
microscope, you see a certain pattern or something like that.
Do you think that Christine and Quentin Beck's numbers so their numbers of each universe would align, or you think they have different
No,
numbers?
I think they were both referring to 616 as 616.
Okay.
Because there's something about the 616 multiverse that, like, whether it's biological, whether it's magnetic radiation, something like that, right, shows you, oh, this is 616. So even if you have only ever seen one multiverse, you can look at your own multiverse and know what number it is.
I like that.
I like that.
Well, and if you know, we see the film strip from the TVA that Loki saw that said 616 on it, that makes you think that like He Who Remains numbered that 616. Or that Kangs have set up the numbering system.
Do
right?
you? Okay, so keep going.
And
'cause
so
I'm-
maybe there's a Kang already implanted in. Well,
Do you
He
think-
remains keeping Kang out of 616 until he's dead, right? But somehow, like Tony, I do like the idea that Tony's looking into multiverses because, like, he sees the portal. He's worried about things coming come to Earth.
Yeah.
He knows that they are aliens, maybe. Or maybe he has suspicions that they could be aliens, they could be coming from another universe or something. He's looking into it and starts to see the numbering system. There's a Kang in every multiverse who's using the same numbering system across the multiverse.
Okay. So you think Kang can? Okay. That's a great.
Oh, that's a great
Fucking
If we say it at the same time, we can all say it.
I pointed because you like cursing, but I noticed it.
I
Might
saw
have
it, but I didn't want to
swear
take
jar
it.
hit 100, so
Yes,
they
we were
able
allowed to
swear.
say one
So we
swear.
emphasize that.
Thank you, Kenny C. Thank you, Hank Horsebreath, and all the other
Man,
folks
Kodak,
that contributed.
Juicy Juggo.
Thank you, you guys.
Chrissy, our friend Chrissy, with a fun Egypt
Chrissy.
fact we'll get to later.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not ignoring you, Chrissy.
So you're saying that the Kang the Conquerors, I say Kang the Conquerors because of the different variants, came up with the number system for the multiverse? It
I like
makes
that
sense.
idea. Yeah,
But,
like,
but then I guess, how are they disseminating that to Guterman, who puts it in Mysterio's script?
I'm pointed. Okay, so this is two theories that probably are not correct with me, but we were talking about who now owns like Stark Industries, you know, after he died, and also if they did dissolve the company, where did the stuff go? How would they all know about it? And what if somehow Quentin Beck got a hold of information about the multiverse through the stuff that was dissolved? And if that's true, we also talked about in a different universe, Nathaniel Richards did buy Stark Industries.
Oh.
So Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang the Conqueror, could have just had that information.
So in 616, are we saying that Nathaniel Richards is a grown man buying? No, I'm saying
I
honestly.
think that, yeah.
So would that make, like, I'm just thinking about, like, if they introduced these characters into the 616 MCU, would we get John Krasinski as like 60-year-old Reed Richards?
Or, well, Nathaniel Richards can time travel.
Oh, right.
So
Yes,
that is yet another vector, right? We know we can hop multiverses,
Right.
but also there is time travel within each multiverse,
Okay.
right?
Because I think that, like, you know, Tony Stark's dead. Pepper is the head of Stark Industries, but maybe doesn't want to deal with it anymore. She's got a kid. Tony's gone. Her heart's not into it. You know, we see
100.
Happy is not really working for Stark
100.
Industries,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think she would fire
100.
Happy.
Yeah. Happy's a mess right now.
The government has seized a bunch of the technology.
100.
Yeah, and Nathaniel Richards, now that He Who Remains is dead, a Kang from another universe could come in as like Nathaniel Richards, who pretended to be Mr. Griffin, who bought Stark Industries in the comics and turned out to be Kang, turned it into like Kang Industries with a Q. Q. If he's there now that he remains is dead, he can come in. He can start buying up Stark Tech to maybe prevent that multiversal knowledge from getting out because he knows that it's there, right?
Although the last warning from He Who Remains was like, if you kill me, you have whatever's coming next will be way worse.
Okay.
Way worse.
A little side note to that, Brandon brought up a great idea, which stop me if I'm saying it wrong.
I will stop.
I already want to stop you because you gave Brandon credit for coming up with a great idea.
Brandon said, what if our Kang the Conqueror 1616 is just as arrogant and refers to himself as like the number one when there's actually the other ones are like, no, we're all each number one. It's just that we're all arrogant.
I'm Kang 1.
No, I'm Kang 1.
I'm Kang 2.
What?
But
Kang
it
4.
does make sense that Guterman, working under Tony, might have been working in a department that was looking into multiverses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony, I think, maybe successfully made a connection. We
Oh,
saw
yeah,
the
you said
Illuminati,
this, and I was like, this is
Illuminati app
crazy.
in his phone, right? I'm wondering if he connected, not with 838, but another one, and the Reed Richards there was like, stop. Don't go any further. And that's why also in when they come to him in Endgame about time travel, he's like, I don't want to mess with this stuff. 'Cause he knows if they start poking around, other universes are gonna like.
That's a good theory, and I know I previously said I had the definitive answer, but actually I just came up with the even more.
Oh, okay.
definitive
What is
answer.
the
Make it more
definitive
definitive.
answer?
Guterman came up with 616 in a dream.
Whoa.
And that was
Another Guterman. Another Guterman.
He didn't even
Zach's
take
gone.
his shit. Where'd he go? He's
He's
Guterman.
walking around the multiverse.
Whoa. He's strutting. He's Ric Flair strutting right now.
really
The 30th player in the game.
He's styling and profiling.
High flying, limousine riding, jet setting, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun, Zach Huddleston.
With a tear in my eye.
Chad seems to think that Tony knew. They ran a poll. 72% of Chad said that Tony knew about the multiverse. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy.
I don't abide by the idea that Mysterio just got lucky. I agree with Voss.
Right.
How are you gonna randomly
there
pull
is-
those exact numbers out your butt?
No, yeah, the odds of that are ridiculous. And the makers of these properties would not have that be just a happy
Exactly.
accident.
There's also the small possibility that he was from the multiverse, came in, got this group of Stark employees together, and pretended he wasn't from the multiverse.
Okay, that is
The old
4D
triple
chess
reverse.
right
They
there.
wouldn't believe
Also,
him.
real quick,
old
as soon
double,
as,
yeah.
as soon as Zach started running around with his I'm the winner, everyone said, Zaddy. Someone put hashtag the Zaddy. That's your new thing. Congrats.
Zaddy.
I'll take it.
Congrats.
I'll take it. Other things I'll take.
Ric Flair,
This
woo.
awesome piece of merch right here. This is the latest Obsession Multiverse of Madness shirt from newrockstarsmerch.com. This bad boy is called Shattered Madness. You got a little Doctor Strangey figure here, some shattered glass, plays a prominent role in the film. You can get this and that cool shirt that Jessica's wearing, that cool villain shirt, also available from our merch partners.
And this Batman shirt.
Oh, and Tommy's Batman shirt. Brandon and I not currently wearing New Rockstars merch, but
You
we
gotta
will
save
tomorrow.
it for special
As long as two of us do, Philip won't fire us. He said we got to be half merched up.
That's right. From
I
the-
do mine like every other day.
Merch
Yes.
up from the perch up. You know
That's
what I
right.
say?
From the rooter to the tutor, we are we are merged beak to butt. Okay. Speaking of nose to tail dining, our good friends at HelloFresh, we would like to thank them for sponsoring this episode. We truly are fans of HelloFresh here, where you can get yourself some farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. They make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. Speaking of which, Brandon cooked some HelloFresh.
Oh yeah, I got
this
myself
week.
a meal, some delicious burgers with some
Here it is.
caramelized onions.
Talk
Got all these ingredients right. Look at that. Look at that skill in the
Good
kitchen
knife
I have.
skill.
Nice, good knife work right there.
Burn
Put them in your
yourself.
cast iron.
Cast
Cook them up.
iron.
We had some potatoes too to go on
Oh,
the
you got
side.
one of those
Look at
cool
that.
salt. You got like the Wolfgang Puck salt.
These
Oh, yeah,
shots
good
that you're
salt.
taking are so
You know, get a
good.
press for your burgers, guys.
Yes.
And then there's the finished product.
Wow.
Delicious burger.
That
I
looks
really
amazing.
I love these kind of like meal delivery kits because I really like to cook. I'm no amateur. I'm a pro, dog. I go hard in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You saw the press I had for my,
Yeah.
my cast iron, but I like these kind of meal things because like planning all the meals for the week. It's so much pressure, so much stress.
Yeah.
They give you everything you need. It comes to your house, boom, easy. And like you can add stuff to it. I added a little lettuce to the burger. They didn't give me any lettuce. I popped it on there.
Why
you
not?
know, you can really plus these things up. If you're a real maestro in the kitchen, if you're a regular Gordon Ramsay in there, yelling at your wife to get out of the way because she's ruining it. Ruining it.
You
Get out of my kitchen.
Only one in the kitchen. There's too many people in the
There's too
kitchen. It's
many
a phrase
people.
and a thing to live by.
It's a thing to live by. We have
God,
a
I
tiny
hate it.
apartment kitchen.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And you mentioning kind of adding stuff. They will also let you add stuff right in the HelloFresh interface. You could swap out protein, side dishes, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You could pick your favorites from 50 different weekly options. Skip a week if you want to. Maybe you're going to be traveling. Maybe you're busy, whatever. Skip a week, change your delivery date, update your preferences. You can do it all in the HelloFresh app. And we're going to be eating HelloFresh for at least the next 2 days.
And I can't
here
wait.
This week, including, there's some super secret Tommy Bechtold HelloFresh footage.
Oh, yeah.
We're not sure if we're going to release that to the public.
I think Michael Walden confirmed that actually there was originally going to be a scene with Storm in my HelloFresh footage.
Tommy, if I look at this footage and there's one shot of a butt, I'm gonna be.
Oh, there's more than one.
Tommy cooks in the nude.
There's a lot. There's a lot more than one.
If I'm fried with oil, I'm naked.
If you want to join along with us, or if you just want to get yourself some delicious food to cook at home, go to HelloFresh.com/Breakroom16 and use the code Breakroom16. That 16 is important because you get up to 16 free meals
Ooh la la.
and 3 free gifts.
Ooh la
head,
la.
head over there to that URL. It's in the description of this video. It helps us out, and you'll be helping yourself out and anybody that you'll be feeding.
Delicious.
Thank you to HelloFresh.
Thank you to HelloFresh. I want to point out there was one comment in the chat that really tickled my fancy.
What was it?
It said, Zach would make my house a home.
It's true. It's true.
And I think we all feel that way.
I feel that way.
I just thought that was very fun. Mandatory fun!
Oh, no!
Play my graphic!
No.
Yeah.
I think you scared John with that one.
Oh, you almost scared the graphic away.
That's right. Oh, did I scare you away? I'm so sorry. Play it again!
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
It's mandatory. It is a beautiful graphic.
It is.
the segment that has swept the nation. When we don't do it, people are devastated. When we do it, people ask me what is wrong. Direct messages all the way from Saudi Arabia. I got one on Twitter saying, big fan of the show. Are you okay? Are you drinking enough water? The answer is never!
To all of
Never! All right, mandatory fun today is all about getting canceled. We've all been canceled here before. Last time we did this, Zach got canceled for a really hot take that someone requested he apologized for. And guess what? We don't apologize for our cancelable takes here.
Yeah.
We dig deeper.
Is this America? Do we have free speech?
Yeah,
thought
and
this
speaking
was
of America, America's about to get burnt in this segment. And I ain't talking about this great nation. I'm talking about that character in this movie. Because I'm going to lay out a cancelable take right now.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go first.
Oh, okay, batting leadoff.
That's right. Hit my camera. America Chavez, you dumb dummy.
Oh my God.
You are one of the most powerful beings in the multiverse. There's only one of you. You are a unique all-spark of a powered individual. Why, after you humble the Scarlet Witch, do you go back to school? Do you go back to Comertage, where you're sparking out little sparks from your sling ring? You can move from universe to universe. What a waste of your talents. Let me tell you a little anecdote, guys. There was a time in my life where some friends of ours that we all know, Chris Alvarado and Dustin Sterling and I, went bowling every single day for 2 months.
Okay.
At the end of 2 months, I bowled a 209, no lessons.
Respectable.
That's hard to do. 209, that's a lot of strikes, a lot of balls. Down the alley getting strikes. So we all said, wow, we're getting good. We each bowled over 200. Why don't we take a lesson? So we took a lesson from this old guy, and he taught us how to throw the ball correctly. It ruined bowling for me forever. America Chavez she doesn't need to learn how to bowl correctly. She needs to leap from multiverse to multiverse to universe and do cool stuff. Maybe find her moms. I don't know. Her moms are still out there. But guess what she does? She's got a little crush on Wong and Strange.
Jesus
So she's going to go there and hang out with the green cow guy that we never learn anything about. There's no explanation for it.
This is an expanding cancelable
I'm sorry.
take.
I know someone in the chat said, "Where is this going?"
I don't know. I don't know where it's going. But I'll tell you where it's not going. Through the multiverse, because we're stuck in Cumberbatch. Just doing circles with our hands, wasting our time. And that's my take.
Tommy officially against charter schools.
That's right.
It's clear.
Public schools only.
School of Hard Knocks is
Yeah.
what he wants. Yeah.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I don't know if I can follow that, but I got a pretty cancelable.
Well, I think
take
any
there.
coherent take will
Yeah.
follow that pretty nicely.
Here's a take for you. Hey, guess what, chumps? Mordo is right.
Ooh.
All right? He's right in the 838. He's right in the 616. These sorcerers are a problem.
Yes.
There's too much dark magic being used by people. There's too much rule breaking going on, and it's getting people killed. My boy Mordo was left in a trench at the bottom of a gutter with one cuff on. You think Christine's gonna let him out? Probably not. The poor guy's just trying to do his job, okay? He stepped in when no one was willing to do it. He's right, and he should kill Doctor Strange. We just learned that all the Doctor Stranges are bad. They're all bad. Someone's got to stop them.
Yeah.
That's my guy Mordo. He's right.
Nice word.
That's a great take. You know what? If I had Mordo to stop that bowling instructor, I'd be at a local LA bowling establishment somewhere in the greater LA County area.
You can see Mordo leaning in and being like, "There's too many bowling instructors."
Stand from shadow lanes must die.
The pin comes due.
Yeah. Okay, I'll jump in because we're saving Jessica's for last because we think it's going to be the best one.
It's not.
You know what? Loved this movie. Loved it more on second viewing. There was one part that landed like a wet fart for me. Okay,
A wet
that
fart.
is that I was jazzed coming out of the trailers for it, and I was unjazzed. I was easy listening
Unjazzed.
by the appearance of it.
Dejazzed.
Those beasts, those monsters in Wundagore, in the Wundagore Temple, okay? Those things that should be the emissaries of Cthon, right? They have Cthulhu-esque, type faces, right? These should be like demons, channelers of pure evil and darkness. Wong uppercuts one, dead.
Gone.
The others basically get like a stiff breeze, blows
get
them
blown
off the
out.
top of the
Gone.
mountain, gone forever.
Wong
These things,
gone.
yes, Wong gone. These things are unimpressive. They do nothing. I mean,
Someone said
nothing.
Zaddy
In
don't
fact,
lie.
the second Wanda shows up, they take a knee. They don't even like swing and then see like, oh, I didn't even realize. We see zero evidence of any kind of power or interesting capabilities from them.
Hell
And
yeah.
I have a theory about this, right? As Wong and Wanda enter that temple for the first time, we see that statue of like an obsidian kind of scary looking figure that has like kind of like a big teeth, kind of crazy looking face. That same image shows up in the end credit kind of montage over the credits. Was that character supposed to be maybe the model for the
The
monsters?
demons. I like the idea that it was for Chatong.
Cthon.
Maybe that was what Cthon looks like in our world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, I wanted those demons. They're kind of like they're a part of that big
They
final
could
battle.
do magic too.
Yes.
They're about to do some
They
magic.
did nothing. Now, not that Wanda needed a lot of help. She's
Yeah,
incredibly
true.
powerful in that moment, but I wanted them to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
They did no
Nothing.
cool stuff.
They should have brought a few wizards for them to chew on or something.
Great point.
See what
Great
they do.
point.
Great point.
Great point. Jess, bring us home.
Mine isn't, my first one isn't cancelable. You guys, we need to make sure that Zaddy Don't Lie becomes a saying on this show because I want merch that's Zach's face and above it says Zaddy Don't Lie. Zaddy
And on
Don't
the back,
Lie.
Zaddy just made this house a home.
And it's a picture just like a house with a heart above it.
Yes.
You guys, my cancelable take, which everyone thinks is very hot. I don't think it's hot. I'll say it right off the back. Christine, you should have died. Christine, I want you dead.
How could
Christine, I
you?
want you dead.
Lean
Christine, I
in,
want you
Jess,
dead.
lean in.
Christine, I want you murdered, my girl.
Oh my
so the reason why I want you murdered is because, and this might be me talking out my booty, but out my butt, but in what if it's an absolute point that you die, I want you to keep dying. I want you to die so many times, and I don't want that metaphor crap that's like, oh, our love is dead. No, I want her dead. I want
love is
her
dead.
to be impaled on a stake. I want her to be the one that got hit by the car. I want her to be in the house, their apartment that caught fire. Like in What If. Also, I love me a story where the love interest dies, and I need this love interest to die.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Heartbreak, if it does feel good in a place like this, kill Christine. I also was about to use an analogy of another movie, but I realized A Walk to Remember is probably not the best analogy. but
I love that movie. Mandy Moore, Shane
and it made
West.
you were like, Mandy Moore,
What about
no.
Autumn in New York? Is that one?
There you go. And you're like,
Topical.
no.
Charlize, right?
Yeah.
But Christine, Rachel McAdams, if you're listening, you should have died.
And pray to be only yours, I pray. A Walk to Remember. Come on.
Wow, you got the theme song.
Yeah.
Okay, throw it in the chat. I think we got a poll going of who you think. Oh, Tommy leading with the most cancelable
I
take.
think that poll came. First of all, Dodson fired that poll off way too early. Jessica hadn't even started her take yet. Everybody's hating on the old T-man, old T-baggy. Because my take was a little too fiery. Some people worried about me in the chat. They know that I've been cramping up lately, and I was yelling a lot, but don't worry about it.
Have you been eating bananas?
I've been eating nothing but
You know one thing that can cause cramps? Salt. And use a salty dog.
Woof!
As we wait for the chat, we can do one of these super chats.
Let's read the super chat.
Publiman asks, what do you guys think the Illuminati did with all the Infinity Stones after they defeated Thanos? Well, they didn't have all of them yet, we know, because Thanos didn't have all of them. But in the original, in the comics, the Illuminati, they do get the Infinity Stones, and they each take one to kind of keep them like.
Oh yeah, don't
safe.
they give them to
distribute
different
them.
parts? I just imagine it's still in the TVA drawer, just.
I bet Reed
paperweight.
Richards has them. In like
Well, probably in some kind of insane vault or something like that. Because we know they weren't redistributed to like who had them in the 616. Like the Eye of Agamotto is not on Mordo's chest with the time stone inside it, right? Yeah.
Really quick, I want to acknowledge my girl Frey Girl said, "Why is Jessica obsessed with Regina/Christine?" You know damn well why I'm obsessed with Regina George. Oh my God.
It does look like Tommy was canceled at 40% of the votes, but that might be a timing thing. That might be a timing thing.
I forgot about the graphic. That hurt my feelings so much.
Hit him!
I canceled myself.
John getting revenge for having to run mandatory fun graphics so many times.
Play that graphic again.
The canceled one. No, the canceled one.
We're out of here. That was mandatory fun. A decidedly not canceled part of this show. It will never die. We will never take it away. I fucking swear to you.
It says Tommy 40%, Jess 27, Zaddy 20.
I don't know if we had.
Yeah, we do. We're at 201.69. Dodson hasn't updated fast enough. He's too busy launching the polls too early. And that's me being mandatorily cruel to a person who works very hard on our show and can't defend themselves in
We
this forum.
hey, somebody just threw in Tommy's takes are the best. Couldn't agree more with you.
Jay Medrano said that.
Now, Brandon, I'm stealing your
you guys
segue.
went to IMAX last night. I was not allowed to leave the house per the court ruling.
That's right.
What's that on
But
your
I
ankle?
have. Don't ask about it.
been
If
beeping
it
all
starts
day.
beeping, let me know. I have seen Multiverse of Madness twice. We've all seen Multiverse of Madness twice. It's really fun seeing it again for a second time, seeing what like the audience is going to react to.
Yes.
You kind of get a chance to look around the screen. If you're at an IMAX, you'll see 26% more on your screen.
Yes.
When you watch it. But we all saw some like different things watching it a second time. One thing I noticed, I kind of talked about this yesterday, the sequence of like portaling away at the end of the movie, right? Wanda has been defeated by being shown what a terrible person she is to her children. And so America Chavez makes a star portal to take her and Wong to Kamar-Taj. Whoop, they go through the portal. Portal closes. Zombie Strange gets crushed with Wanda.
Oh, it's my baby.
There's a dog running around on the floor. If you're wondering why the whole cast just looked down at me.
It's my baby.
And then when we see the portal open up again, it's to get Christine and Strange out of the inky, destroyed incursion world.
Yes.
And when that portal opens, that star portal, they're at Wonder Gore Mountain again. They're on a stone
America
mountaintop.
and Wong.
America and Wong. They're coming from there. So they went back to Kamar-Taj and at some point go to Wonder Gore Mountain and then go back to get Stranger Christine, which would be weird because they'll be bringing them to the mountain. It's like, why are you bringing them there? I don't know.
I want you to see.
I want you to see what happened.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe It's So Strange can check out the scene.
It's also not the mountain, it's the mountain next to the mountain.
right, because they can't get to the.
It's not the greatest mountain in the world.
And this
it's
would
just
also mean
tribute
that like
to the
Christine
greatest.
has now gone to several multiverses herself, right? I don't know if she ever did as a scientist, if she was just sending probes before.
I don't think she was
I thought that was a
going.
very interesting and a very purposeful for them to do that. I wonder if there's another scene they cut.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but that's something I noticed on my second.
He did
my
show
second
her his universe, even briefly.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And she's like, "Why's your pizza so flat?"
This pizza's flat as hell.
Free for some reason.
I think everyone's just stealing pizza. Two things that I've noticed, which I was like, was when they're first, when Stephen Strange comes and sees Mordo, and the candles go out. When I was watching it, I'm watching so close for the dialogue. I'm not really paying so much attention to like what's actually happening. And when Mordo starts talking about the dream walking, all the candles go out in their sanctum, and I was like, is she there? I kept being like, is she there already? Or did he just do this for dramatic effect? And it made me irritated. But then the second thing I noticed was how Sam Raimi this movie is.
Yeah.
Those ghosts being like, hey, come here. I was like, this is Evil Dead. It is.
And Danny Elfman, like that's
Yeah,
like
Danny
Danny
Elfman,
Elfman,
yeah.
like
So great.
he loves the like like creepy chorus in his in his scores.
If there is like a good takeaway from this that I want people to really, there's a lot of takeaways, but mine is like, go watch Evil Deads and then go watch this and you'll be like, oh, I understand why they reached out to Sam Raimi after Scott Derrickson to do this.
Yes. Yeah, he definitely puts his stamp and stamps and stamps and stamps and stamps all over this movie.
It's
and
all
including
over.
like zooming in on the stamp as if it's an
Yes.
eyeball or whatever, right?
Also, the like catchphrases of like Christine going, "See
Go
you,
back to
go
hell."
back to hell." I was
yes.
Yeah.
I was
Who
like, Sam
said they
Raimi.
have to be living?
Yeah, how they said they have to
Yeah.
be living. I was like, Sam Raimi.
You could see like 26 years ago, if this movie was made, Bruce Campbell delivering that line as Doctor Strange.
100%.
I mean, like, Elizabeth Olsen giving the line of like, "This is me being real."
Yeah.
It's like chilling.
Oh,
It's chilling.
that was the thing that stood out to me. I thought she was great the first time I watched this, but man,
She's great.
every line delivery is spot on.
I literally was like, they're doing this in front of a blue screen and they are doing so well.
What is the exchange? It's when America Chavez finally like gets up off the like the sacrificial
punches
altar, and
her?
she's like, uh-huh.
And she goes,
And then she goes,
I wanted her to do something a little sassier, like,
I loved it. I thought it was totally.
Well, and in the end, like, she doesn't really overpower Wanda. The only thing she can do is show her
Hold
the
a
errors
literal
of her
mirror up
ways.
Well, and when when Zombie Strange like throws like the corpse demons at her, she like looks legit freaked out and scared. It was good. It was great. She's great.
Yeah, I can go. I didn't really notice so much of the sound, so much of the music, like in the regular theater, as much as I noticed in the IMAX. One thing I completely missed, and I'm sure everyone caught this, when Charles Xavier rolls in for the first time, they play the X-Men the animated series.
Yeah.
Like
I missed it the first time too, and I saw people talking about it online.
like they just change it a little bit, and they
get a
credit
little
at the end, in the end credits, they credit the songwriters or song composers from that TV show on the soundtrack, which
That's
kudos to
cool.
them for getting more money.
Yeah.
And also kudos to like the kind of egolessness of Raimi and Danny Elfman of being like, this will be fun. And Danny Elfman, this isn't the first time, because in whichever one of the DC movies that Danny Elfman took over for, they merged like several Batman themes and John Williams' Superman theme into the movie. Like they got permission, obviously, and credited, and they wove together these like different iterations, themes in it. I don't know. For me, having not noticed that the first time, I thought it was really cool and definitely worth a second watch, and I can't wait to buy this movie on digital and watch it again.
when you said the DC Danny Elfman, for some reason, the first thing, I was like, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then I was like, that's not
Well,
a
Danny
DC
Elfman
movie.
did make the original Batman
Yes.
from like the Tim Burton.
Tim
But then he also, they
that
used
makes
his
sense.
score on, I think, Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
Yes. Him and Junkie XL maybe
Yeah,
collaborated
yeah.
on that. We got a couple good super chats that kind of are pertinent to this conversation.
Yeah.
And Chuck Van asked a great question. Is 616 a universe or a multiverse? Does Zach have his plurality correct? Well, if it's up to me, I'm almost certainly wrong. Yeah, when he says like, because I've been saying like, well, you hop from the 616 multiverse to the 828 multiverse, but those are just universes. Multiverse is the concept that there are lots of universes.
Yeah, the way we've talked about it before is that like you have universes which are separate. But within those universes, you kind of have like multiple timelines kind of going together. It's not like one straight, it's like a bundle of cables, right? So you can kind of have variations and branch timelines in one universe, but then there's like different universes.
Yes. So the TVA that we saw as portrayed in Loki, right? They are only operating in the 616 universe.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why in the very last episode they do that thing where you're hearing all the stuff from Marvel over the years, and they zoom out and you see two universes next to each other, and then they like zoom back in to kind of establish like all this is happening within one universe.
Yes.
Someone said in the chat that it was Justice League when Danny Elfman had to take over. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't claiming to be an expert on that. I was
One person also said Batman too, so I might be both. I just wanted to make sure we.
either way, it was cool. I mean, if I acted as though I was the absolute authority on that, I apologize. I just meant that it had happened before in reverse almost. Maybe perhaps inspiring.
EJ Menchaca brought up something that I noticed also on a second viewing as we talk about this. Mordo has like the vaulting boots on.
Yes,
Don't do that.
yeah.
In the fight with Strange.
Yeah,
yes.
Strange parkours out of that little pit, which I thought it was going to be a bottomless pit, which would make more sense to like separate them.
It was like an 8-foot.
It was like a little trench,
yeah.
So he's asking like, why didn't Mordos use those? He only said a line
well,
about like, I get why you're
He
saying,
couldn't
like,
use it.
He had the
right? 'Cause
cuff
he had the
on.
cuff on.
Yes, that inhibits your magic
abilities.
using ability.
Yeah.
Also, we only saw the vaulting boots used for lateral quickness. He did not go vertical.
in the first Doctor Strange movie, he does it in Comertage.
Yes, but we don't know. We don't know what this universe's
He might just
vaulting boots do.
He's been relying on those boots too much. His
I know.
Bert's not
He's gotten
great.
soft,
"Ah,
man.
damn."
I will say that stunt is pretty great because Strange pushes off of his chest with his foot to
You need
then
another
parkour up.
guy down there to get out of
He
it.
got folded like
That's
an
right.
omelet.
I like it.
I like it.
Kenny C had a super chat said, imagine the dialogue between Robert Downey Jr. Stark and Strange during the Illuminati sequence. How would Strange have acted knowing he sacrificed him in the 616? Would Scarlet Witch hesitated in killing like a Robert
Absolutely not.
Downey Jr.
She would have murdered Robert Downey Jr. Stark.
She was going to kill anyone and everyone who got in
but
their way.
it would be interesting. She didn't have to face someone that she knew.
True.
You know what I mean? She didn't have to kill anyone
Right.
face to face. That someone
That is true.
like Tony Stark that she
Well,
recognizes.
she knew Wong. She knew Strange. She was willing
Well,
to kill
in
them,
that
right?
universe,
Killed
but she
them
didn't
though.
kill.
She never
true.
killed them.
Well,
she actually spared Wong
intentionally
several times.
I don't think she did because I think she meant to. The second time watching it, I was like, she should have threw Wong like 3 football fields into the abyss of snow.
And she didn't
instead
have to
of just
throw him.
that.
She could have gone.
Yeah.
And he turns into spaghetti.
Could have
right?
Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Well, also interesting to note, right? Like if anybody's like, Wanda got too savage, she was too brutal there, right? Actually, the character that did the most damage in this was that darker dimension Strange.
Yeah.
He said he was traveling multiverses and killing all the other Stranges.
Yeah.
I mean, how nasty do you have to be to kill the other versions of yourself?
And what if he
But
did
it was
it?
like absorbing their power.
Well, but
Yeah.
it was dream walking into their body, so he said the feeling of getting pushed, but what he really was making them leap to their own deaths, right? Like that.
Yeah.
You think their cape
is
would
what
have
it would
caught
be.
them.
Also, I want to point out to that last question. I mean, he sacrificed Tony with Tony's knowledge that he was going to do it, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't like Tony was like, no.
I think he never said to Tony like, hey, this isn't how the plan, because they never talked, remember?
Well,
after
they look at
the
each
dust
other and he
storm.
goes,
Right, but I think it was implied that like, you have to die, right?
well, there was Tony still had to snap.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so do I.
Let's hit some quick
Yeah, let's do the
super chats
question.
real quick. D Hunt says, why has Halo not been covered yet? Well,
Wait, the game?
The song by
no, the
Beyonce.
series. There's a
I
series
love
out.
Halo.
Well, have you been watching the series?
I watched a couple. My mom has. She updates me on it because I
She
love
hasn't
the
watched
game.
one episode.
I
get
did.
Jessica's mom
I
on
don't
to
have
talk about
Paramount
it.
Plus, but
Yeah,
my mom
you know
does.
what? It's just not quite popular enough yet broadly for us to cover it. But if it becomes a big hit, we'll cover it. It's just we kind of the audience dictates a lot of our coverage.
If you guys want to play the video game, I'll play it with you.
Emotional Damage just sent us a "How's it going?" kind of cute little sticker, and I say it's going Gucci to Moochie, baby.
Gucci to
I like
Gucci.
Hank Horse, bro.
Toku White says, I'll take one for the team and watch Morbius tonight.
Thank you,
Thank you,
baby.
Toku.
Toku.
Refund that $5
Thank
to go
you
buy
for your
that shirt.
If anyone goes to
Toku.
see Morbius and sees that post credit has been altered, hit us up on Twitter and
Yeah.
Also, if you-
hashtag in our break room.
If you want to get real sly and do a little cell phone.
No, we
vid
can't
of
do
it-
that. Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
you're
do
absolutely
that.
right. We should
Don't do
not
that.
do it.
We would
Just,
never
record. We would
just
never ask you to
put it in
record.
the Mind Palace.
Oh, God.
Put it in the
Okay.
Mind
Hank
Palace.
Put it in the
Horsebreath.
Mind Palace.
Hank Horsebreath, which is my nickname. What other Marvel property would you like to see a horror adaptation of?
Okay, let's do it
And-
quick. Quick hits.
Like a horror?
I mean,
horror?
I
Age of
kinda-
Ultron, dude. Age of Ultron. Make Ultron more scary. Make him kill a child.
Ooh. Well, I would say it's a different kind of horror, but like Punisher,
Punisher,
right?
yeah.
That is like a kind of graphic, violent kind of horror.
yeah.
You could see like that, tipping into like Hostile, type territory.
Hell yeah.
I
Dude.
think Stan Lee's Stripperella for me.
Okay.
Stanley's around. I mean, bring back Ghost Rider. Let's do Ghost Rider.
We're ready.
And
Do it
make
the
it
right
real
way.
scary.
Nicolas
Right way.
Cage back in the
Yeah.
hall.
Take a normal man and set his
Okay,
head on fire.
Oh, Chrissy, we gotta do Chrissy's.
Yes.
And then
okay.
we have to do at Kevin.
Chrissy throwing in an Egypt fact. Chrissy is our friend who's an Egyptologist. Ancient Egyptians loved cats, but they were never given names. They are always referred to as Mew, a cat, because to name them was considered an insult to the god Bastet.
I named my cat Cat. Does that count?
Oh, I guess that counts.
That is kind of a Mew.
I guess that counts.
Thank you, Chrissy,
Shout out
for
to
that
you,
Egypt
Bastet.
fact.
At Kevin said random, but can the Celestials shapeshift? Seems like the Celestials in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was much smaller than what we saw in Eternals.
Well, yeah, because we saw one walking on a planet and then like doing this
Yes.
stuff, and then obviously
But we-
Arishem
we-
was gigantic.
But we also saw, one with a head big enough to
Right.
for that thousands of people could
I
live
don't know
inside
if
of
it's
it.
that they can shapeshift more than they can have avatars, kind of like what we saw in
the Celestials exist outside
Yeah.
of the multiverse, and then they project an avatar of themselves into each universe. They're not like separate variants. It's all leads back to
They
like
also-
the one main one. So I think they can scale their size however they want.
That's true.
Because they're messing with. They're physical, from what I understand. Although I don't know how it didn't cause the
Well,
tides
no,
to destroy
yeah, I
the
was
Earth,
like, I don't
but-
think Celestials can come down.
I don't. Well,
But-
in the comics they've been on.
Yeah,
Earth.
they've been on
walked
Earth.
around on
Yeah.
planets.
I don't feel like I'm ever gonna come down from this amazing episode, you
Oh
guys.
my God.
But I do unfortunately feel like it is almost time to say goodbye.
Is it time to say goodbye? Well, we've had a great time here on the Break Room, like we do every day. We hope you'll tune in tomorrow and every day this week.
Yes, thank you for all of your tips into the swear jar.
Yes,
we
thank
certainly
you.
appreciate
Appreciate it.
that.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody that was doing super chats. We tried to get to a bunch of them. Apologies if we didn't get to you. Also, we are 2 days out from our very special, very first
That's right.
Friday the 13th
And this is
episode.
crazy. I meant
Don't
to tell you
talk
guys.
about it while I'm
I was
here.
here late again last night, and I felt just like a breeze brush against the back of my neck, and I was like, "Is there a window open?" Turns out there are no windows in this building. This
Windowless
is a completely
building.
windowless prison. So I don't know. It's weird. There's been flickering lights. I've noticed like a pair of work boots that don't seem to belong to anybody every once in a while.
Not my work
Strange.
boots.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that we'll get to explore that on Friday, but maybe.
Okay.
Also, the next 2 days, we're going to have special guest co-hosts. So tune in to see who that might be. I bet they're familiar faces to you if you watch the new Rockstars channel. But all of that said, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you soon.
Go
Goodbye,
Bills.
everybody.
Go Bills,
Bye.
go.
Love you.
Woo.